Welcome to KGN Caribbean News. I'm Carisha Graham. Here's what's making headlines in this week's Caribbean Crime Watch. Two men from Texas are facing federal charges after investigations say they were plotting a violent attack on an island of Haiti's east coast. Court documents outline a plan to storm the island, kill the men who live there, and force the woman and children into captivity. Authorities say the suspects discussed weapons, travel routes, and forming a military before they were tracked down and arrested. The case is now moving through federal court as investigators look into how far the plan had progressed. A Haitian-American congresswoman in the United States is now under federal indictment, accused of misusing millions of dollars tied to disaster relief programs. Prosecutors say she received a large overpayment through a government funded contract and redirected some of that money for personal and political use. She is denying the allegations, but federal investigators are moving ahead as they review how the relief funds were handled. Police in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are investigating a surge in violence after three separate killings were recorded in just 1 week. The case includes the fatal stabbing of an 18-year-old in Kingston, the discovery of a 32-year-old farmer found buried in a shallow grave, and the shooting death of a young man in Acres. These incidents have pushed the island's homicide count even higher as detectives appeal to the public for information that could help move the investigations forward. Police in the Bahamas are investigating a shooting that happened during a pre-dawn search at a home on West Bay Street. Officers say they were trying to carry out a firearms warrant when an 81-year-old man inside the house opened fire. The officers returned shots, hitting him in the arm and the lower body. He was taken to the hospital where he remains in stable condition. Investigators say two illegal guns and ammunition were recovered from the property, and a woman was also taken into custody as the probe continues. A deadly crash in Berbice has left a family in mourning after a minibus overturned along the number 63 public road. Police say a 16-year-old schoolgirl from Limlear village was among the passengers and died shortly after being taken to the hospital. Several others, including a teacher, were rushed into emergency care with serious injuries. Investigators are now looking into what caused the bus to flip and whether speed or driver error played a role in the accident. A convicted inmate in St. Kitts and Nevis has been given more prison time after admitting to an assault inside the facility. Court officials say the man attacked another prisoner during an incident last year and recently pleaded guilty when the case came before the High Court. The judge ordered him to serve an additional 12 months behind bars on top of the sentence he is already serving. Authorities say the ruling underscores their commitment to addressing violence within the prison system. Police in St. Lucia have charged a Castries man following a recent drug interception tied to an incoming courier package. Officers say a suspicious parcel was flagged during a joint operation with customs, and inside they found more than a kilo of cannabis resin. Investigators believe the shipment was headed for local distribution. The suspect has been charged with importation and intent to supply, and the case remains under investigation as officers track the wider network behind the shipment. In Grenada, an opposition member of parliament is pushing back against suggestions that constituency funds can be spent however MPs choose. Dr. Clarice Modesty told Parliament that the Eastern Caribbean $10,000 monthly allowance is strictly for community needs and must be tracked through a dedicated account. She stressed that the money cannot be used for personal comfort or private expenses, and that every withdrawal requires documentation. Officials say the system is designed to ensure greater transparency in how public funds are managed. And today's newscast is powered by Luxury Glam Onsley. So if you want your makeup, your hair, brows, or lashes on point, whether you're stepping out bold, bridal ready, or straight up boss babe vibes, Little One, the owner of Luxury Glam Onsley, got you covered. Trust me, this is where the glam magic happens. Hit up the number on your screen to book your glow up or catch all the info on Instagram on your screen. Authorities in Jamaica are raising fresh warnings after several people died from carbon monoxide poisoning linked to generator use. With large sections of the island still without power, many families have been relying on generators inside their homes. Emergency crews say the fumes can build up quickly in enclosed spaces, and in recent days, multiple deaths have been reported across affected parishes. Officials are urging residents to keep generators far from living areas and to make sure their homes are properly ventilated as restoration efforts continue. Cuban health officials are racing to contain a growing outbreak of mosquito borne illnesses as cases continue to climb across the island. Experts say large sections of the population have fallen ill in recent weeks, putting added strain on clinics already facing shortages of supplies. Workers have been moving through neighborhoods to clear standing water and step up fogging operations, but ongoing economic challenges and frequent power outages are making mosquito control more difficult. The situation has raised concerns across the region as Caribbean nations monitor for any signs of the spread. Cancer patients in Barbados could soon see a major service restored at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Health officials say radiation therapy is expected to restart shortly now that a new linear accelerator has been installed and tested. Doctors describe the machine as faster and more precise with the potential to shorten treatment times. They are also stressing that equipment alone isn't enough, calling for stronger support systems and earlier screening as the country continues to see rising cancer cases. This segment of KGN Caribbean News is sponsored by Belam Natural Skincare, a real Jamaican brand born from the founder's own skin struggles. If you're tired of dark spots, dry patches, or uneven skin tone, these handmade soaps could be your new best friend. They've got some killer combos like kojic acid with vitamin C, turmeric and sea moss, honey, and oats, all natural, all effective. Plus, they ship all across Jamaica, and here's the catch, they also ship internationally. So, no matter where you are, you can get in on the glow. Order through the Instagram on your screen or WhatsApp the phone number, which is on your screen as well. Your skin, I got thank you. Take care of your skin, people. Guyana has reached a major milestone in its oil industry, with new production levels putting the country at the top of the world rankings on a per person basis. Officials say the output has climbed to roughly 900,000 barrels a day, an extraordinary figure for a nation of fewer than 1 million people. The surge comes as additional offshore projects continue to come online, strengthening Guyana's role in the global energy market and raising big expectations for how this new wealth will shape the country's future. Antigua and Barbuda's prime minister is signaling a new push to make home ownership more affordable. He says the government is preparing a housing program that will offer units starting about 130,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars. The announcement comes as officials highlight more than 1,000 homes already built over the past decade. Details on the rollout and where the new units will be located are expected in the coming months as the government positioned the project as the next step in expanding access to housing. A proud moment for the Caribbean as a wrestler with Jamaican roots is now holding one of WWE's top titles. The superstar claimed the Women's Championship after a dominant performance that has fans and analysts calling it a defining milestone in her career. She's been celebrating her heritage throughout her race and says this victory is only the beginning as she aims to become one of the company's biggest names. Jade Cargill win is already resonating across the diaspora, with many praising her for carrying the flag on the world stage. That's it for this week's edition of KGN Caribbean News. I'm Carisha Graham. See you next week right here where vibes meets truth and every island will eventually get the spotlight.